Okay, so now we're going to continue on. You know, I figure it's hard for me to just do one or a bunch of them. If you're doing them, I think you might as well just do all of them that exist at that time. So we're going to continue with 2003's Michael Bay executive produced. This was the beginning of Platinum Dunes, wasn't it?
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
It was, yeah,
and to me, when I look back on it, I think this is the fucking. We shouldn't be swearing like that. But the darn movie that may have started the current remake trend, as far as I can tell. I mean, they're
banks, so
I mean, yeah, there's been a remake. There's been remakes before the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, but never so many. I think remakes followed since, and many of them housed by Platinum Dunes, which I can't really stand Platinum Dunes. I just can't stand them. So, you know, obviously when I heard of this news, I was just like, this was before, obviously, the remake trend, which is kind of a joke. So I guess, I mean, I knew that you're not going to beat Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I was intrigued to see. Well, you know, it was cool to see the chainsaw back in the theater again, regardless. Or that was my idea at the time.
Well, also they came out with that trailer, which is probably one of my all-time favorite movie trailers. I'd like put that possibly even in my top 10 movie trailers.
Especially if you saw it in the theater with the actual surround sound, because I think they had to go up and then go around.
Yeah, it was a great trailer.
Great trailer, yeah, and it looked promising. And again, you know, it's got some of the clips, some of the flash shots have the you know, the sound from the first one when he's taking pictures. So I was hopeful, but I think I was smart enough to know, like I say, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to top it, obviously, but, you know, I was interested to see Chainsaw back in the theater again. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh man, first of all, it takes it kind of in a weird way at the beginning and end, almost an attempt to be like a Blair Witch thing where I think they want you to think the footage you're seeing at the beginning of the movie is real. I think they want you to think that, and I think a lot of people, people in the audience actually did. They're like, okay, we got a nail here, nail being a nail, a fingernail in the wall here, and I heard someone go, oh, you know, so maybe they thought it was real. I don't know, and it's just like this image of Leatherface, and he's like, some shot of it. Was all that was captured or something. One thing that was cool was actually having John Larroquette back again to do it again, and it's just like, oh man, you guys want me to do it again? So I thought that was kind of cool. I think, yeah, one thing I hate about this movie, and a lot of movies from this era, that decade, is the music video approach in the cinematography.
I'm just listening.
I hate the and it had that look of. I liked it in 7 because it was new and different in 7. But by the time you get to 7, the movie 7 from '96 or '95 or whatever. But by the time you get to this, it's just like, okay, now it's just a gimmick, and I hate that washed out music video freaking look, because what it does is it takes something which could be, if it was shot just normal colors like the original, it could be very much more scary in a realistic way, but when you make it something that's so stylized like a music video, then you're just watching a gory, violent music video, because your brain doesn't accept it as being reality unless your reality happens to look like a music video with just the green and washed out crappy colors. So again, you have a van, and actually one thing I do like about it is that instead of taking place in 2002 or 3, it does take place when the original did, which was one cool thing. Again, it was a 2003 version of 73 versus, you know, again, like I said before, the movie production design versus real world production design. So it was like kids dressing up and having a car that looked like that time. I don't have a lot to say other than I'm just going to criticize on the gross. Is it Fat Woman? Yeah. The Fat Woman's in both of them. So the Fat Woman is in it. And the one thing that I haven't seen in a while, but one thing I can remember is kind of like the gas station with the first one. Everywhere she tends to go after the stuff hits the fan, it's permeated. It's like the whole state or the whole county is permeated with the psychos. She'll go to the gas station, it's a psycho. She'll go to, does she go to a trailer park?
Yeah.
The fat woman's in the trailer park, and she's like,
oh my.
Oh,
that was
yeah. Oh my. You know, and so one thing I didn't like is that the whole county was the crazy family. And I'm going to let you take off, and I'll do stuff. Well, I'm going to go 2 stars. I'm going to let you take off. Maybe I'll think of stuff.
I like the movie a little better than you did. I think it's probably the best.
It might be the best Platinum Dunes.
Well, it's certainly the best Platinum Dunes, hands down. It's the best thing that to come in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre world since
the first one. Do you think?
Hands down. Like, I think and I agree with you about the movie is positively yellow. Like, I mean, that's Michael Bay bullcrap. Anyway, I think that said, it works a little bit for me anyway in this movie. Like, I was fine with the movie sort of having that sort of a yellow sheen style to it, because it did age it into the 70s for me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't grow up in the 70s, so maybe that's why. I'm just like, the 70s was a yellow period. But that kind of worked for me. I liked, one of the big pluses of the movie is also the huge criticism, and you addressed it, but I liked all the little character actors who they brought in to fill this town of crazy people. Like, I liked the woman who was like, oh my. I liked the legless dude who's like, get the hell out of my house!
Well, I liked that guy. I forgot about that guy. Yeah. He was a Texas Chainsaw character, wasn't he?
Yeah, and like, I liked all of them. I liked the new Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface himself. I liked all the people within the town, but every damn person in the town, like, is in on it. Like, I can't buy that. I can buy that there's 4 crazy people who also own a gas station. I get that. That makes sense to me. When it's the entire county, like, you'd think somebody'd be like, you know, a lot of people don't come back when they go to that
trailer park.
Yeah, it's like, come on, really? And then they put this weird Leatherface backstory where he's like from when he's a little baby.
Well, that was in the second one. Which
was that in the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was in the first one. I thought they made mention of it in the first one.
Well, they may have made mention.
And I was just like, come on. But anyway, like, I sort of liked some of the new kids, like Jessica.
Well, I like Jessica Biel, yeah. Well, all the women were fine.
Eric Belfour was her boyfriend, and he was alright. I thought it was insanely creepy once you know he's killed, when Leatherface is wearing his face.
Yeah, that was a cool aspect. I thought his death was overly gratuitous.
Yeah, I did think the movie was way overly violent. The one shot that worked for me for the over-violence thing was when they pick up the hitchhiker on the road who's like, we're all gonna die, and she blows her head off, and then they have that camera angle through her head. I was like, that got me. I was like, oh, okay, like that just struck me, and that worked. I mean, I think you can use gratuitous violence in a way that works like that I thought worked. I also liked I think they should have played it more like they shot the beginning of the movie, not the whole Blair Witch thing, but like, just, well, here's a fingernail, like I liked that.
Seeing glimpses, you mean?
Yeah, seeing glimpses. You don't need to see the violence, just hear about it.
That scene where he nails that guy down, and he's just coming up, I mean, it's just like, come on, that's just like the song.
Yeah, just tell me about it. Tell me about it. Don't show me everything. Allude to it. Have it be on Leatherface the whole time. Have it be on the other killers. Have it just be on the guy's face.
Because like when Leatherface is cutting up, what's his name?
Yeah.
You just see the motion in her. You zoom in on her on the hook in the original.
Yeah.
You don't see like.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot to like about the movie, but there's just as much to dislike about the movie, so that it sort of it creates this perfect balance of good and bad to create
it's just shit.
Even.
Yeah, it's just all nothing.
Like, I'm glad I saw it. I think it's, as far as the remakes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre go, I think it's the best. I think it's stylistically, the style of it worked. It still kind of felt 70s for me. It's the best thing Michael Bay's probably done in ages, even though he only produced it.
I
I agree that, like, making Friday the 13th look all glossy like that. That did not work.
Transformers version of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, like that didn't work. It worked for whatever reason for Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me anyway. I'd give it, I'm teetering between 2.5 and 3 because there was enough for me to like, but I'm going to go with 2.5 because I have no real interest in watching it again. I've seen it twice now. It's fine. I'm done.
There's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake review. You stop by and check out our, which will be uploaded probably the next day, which is our review of the what's a prequel to the remake, which is just gets so confusing. Anyway, check it out. It'll be up here eventually. Take care.
Peace.